So hi, good morning peeps. Here's me in my humble abode. Just wanted to talk on a few van updates lately. I have these LED lights now, which if I put them on, hopefully you may be able to see it. It is now daytime, but they're even bright, even in the daytime. They light up fantastically. I have got another strip to put in, but I don't know whether I'm going to put them in or not. Probably not. Probably save them for when I get my bigger van, because this seems to light up pretty well all on its own, as it's only a small van. I've got them working off a switch just down here, so it's easy to get to. That's a good thing with a small van, everything is right close to hand. The other thing that I done was I had my low oil light come on, so instead of just topping up with oil, I replaced the oil and the oil filter. So I drained all the oil out. In this one, this is a 2004 Vauxhall combo van. It's the 1.7 diesel, and I noticed that a lot of the newer Vauxhalls have a Torx type nut underneath, but this one didn't. This one had a normal nut. It was a size 22 metric nut. I had to go and get one because the highest I had was a size 19. I bought that for £3. The oil, and it was synthetic 10 to 40 watt oil that I used, and that all came to £19 something. So yeah, it didn't cost too much. I reckon I've saved myself a few pennies, because I reckon that would have cost at least 50 or 60 quid probably in a garage. So I drained that all out. Next time I will remember that it doesn't just drop straight down, it spouts out, and it spouts out all down me. Wrecked one of my t-shirts. So next time I need to angle the plastic tub that I was using to catch the oil in at an angle so that it doesn't spout all over me and all over the floor. I was lucky that I was able to use my father's garage, where he's got a pit in the garage, so I was able to drive the van over the pit and then go down in the pit to do it all, rather than having to jack it up and then slide underneath. So that was all good. The oil filter was in a weird place. You open up the bonnet and it was on the top right hand side at the back, and you unscrewed one bolt in the middle, unclipped the electric coupling from the side, and then just pulled the top off and removed the filter, put the new one in, of course. And then I had a round seal to put back in, and then put that back down on top and screw it back in. And then once that had done, all the oil had drained out. Always make sure that when you do it, that you run the engine for a little while to warm up the oil. It just comes out a lot easier then, a lot better, because it thins out the oil a little bit being hotter. Yeah, once it all been out, I put the nut back in, screwed up tightly, not too tight because you can crack the sump. So I screwed that in, wiped all around it so that there is no oil around it, so that if it does leak, I can see that it's leaking. I went back up. I had a 5 litre tub, which I ended up pouring the whole thing in. I didn't think I was going to have to pour the whole thing in, but it did, and it went straight up to the maximum. So the 5 litres is exactly what you need for a Vauxhall combo van. So if you ever have this kind of van, that's what you will need. You'll need a 5 litre tub of the oil. It's semi-synthetic 1040 watt oil, a 22 metric nut to undo the nut. You needed a Torx T16, I believe it was. I didn't take an account of what that was. That was a Torx for the opening the top for the oil filter. And give yourself a good 3 hours to do it, because it does take a little while for the oil to drain out still, because you need to try and drain it out fully. Yeah, so I've done that, and the engine's actually quite quieter and smoother now, so it really does make a big difference. The lighting is fantastic in there. It really has helped. My next thing is to make for the front side windows and the windscreen a proper decent covering using this like reflectic stuff that I've got on the side here, which I will be covering that with carpet soon, and then there'll be a mirror going on there. But I'm going to put that reflectix on the windows, but I'm going to try and do it so that you can stick it on and stick it off, of course, because I don't want to be going around during the daytime not being able to see out my windows, and of course the windscreen I need to see out of. I've got like a windscreen cover, but what I'm going to do is put the reflectix on the back of that, and then that should help with the condensation, because then the reason things condensate is because it needs some code to condensate too. So if the windows are the coldest part, so that's why it keeps condensating on the windows. So if I take that away, it's going to stop condensating on the windows, and I can just have a slight gap out the windows, and hopefully that's where it will condensate to. But I'll let you know how that gets on in the next one. I will show you what I've done there. I haven't done it yet, but that is my next job after doing these. So that is all for this one. I'm sorry that I haven't had many videos lately, but last week I was looking after my cousin's children and house. So I was out of the van for a week looking after them. But I'm now back in the van. Glad to be back in the van as well. I love this little home. It'll be great when I got a bigger van, which I'm still saving up for. But for now, this will do me. And yeah, that's all for today. So thank you very much. Please like, subscribe and comment below. They're always greatly appreciated. And thanks very much, peeps. And until next time, goodbye.